Hello, you're most welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you are new, I kindly request to subscribe and hit the notification button to receive updates when new videos come in. In this video, we're going to look at unethical but legal practices. What are unethical practices? These are practices that are morally wrong in society, in business, and in the day-to-day life. So we are going to look at the unethical but yet legal practices in the hospitality industry. Number one, we have price increase during peak hours or peak seasons. In hospitality industry, we have peak seasons like the festive season, the Easter season. So when the hospitality establishments such as bars, restaurants, hotels increase their prices of the goods and services they offer, that will be unethical, but yet it is legal. So when you find that food has been increased by a price, or maybe even entrance to a recreation center, or even maybe prices for beverages have been increased, that is unethical, it is morally wrong, but yet it is legal. Then we have hidden fees. What are hidden fees? These are small amounts of money charged to a customer that are not included on the fixed price of maybe service or a product. Take an example. You go to a restaurant and order a dish, and on that dish they bring you an accompaniment. They had already given you a menu, and on that menu there was only the dish you ordered for. Then they bring you some accompaniment, and later on they charge you the amount of the dish plus the accompaniment. That is what we mean by hidden fees. They are fees that are not communicated to the customer at first instance. Another example, you go to a hotel, check in, and then when you are checking out, they charge you the fee for Wi-Fi, the fee for breakfast, or maybe for swimming in their swimming pool, and even room service. So those are the hidden fees. It is an unethical practice, but yet it's legal. We have overbooking. Overbooking, this is where a hospitality establishment um, allows customers to book beyond its capacity. So here you find that the hotel will accept booking from different people. Usually this is also still in peak seasons. You find that people want to come to a hotel and have their honeymoon or even spend their festive holiday there. However, the hotel may accept the bookings beyond its capacity. So when some customers come, they find that their rooms were given out. So that is overbooking. It is unethical and it spoils the brand image and reputation of a business. Then we have discriminatory practices. Discriminatory practices. So this is basing on either color, religion, tribe, and other factors. So you may find that in some hospitality establishments, by that I mean hotels, restaurants, bars, they segregate or they discriminate people. For example, if you're black, they can't serve you. If you are a Muganda, they can't serve you some dish. If you are a Mnyanko, they can't serve you another dish. If you are lame, they discriminate you. So those discriminatory practices are unethical. They are morally wrong in the industry. Then we have misleading advertising. Misleading advertising, this is whereby a hospitality establishment makes an advert which is decisive. Okay, it is full of lies. For example, someone makes an advert of food, but the food is having filters. When someone comes to order the same dish, it is given to him in like it is not really what he or she saw on the social media or on the advert. Take an example, people who sell lasagna. that big metallic platter with rice, chicken, beef, and so on. Someone may take a picture or a video about that lasagna with rice, with a lot of rice, chicken, chapatis, greens, and so on. But then when you order, what is delivered is so different from what was advertised. So that is misleading advertisement. Someone advertises what they don't offer. You see on the website, you find it a very big Victoria bed, but then when you reach to the hotel, you find a normal regular bed. That is misleading advertisement. So the hospitality industry must advertise what it has without filters, without making extraordinary edits to make it look good, yet it is in actual sense poor. Another unethical but legal practice, we have environmental impact. Many hospitality establishments produce a lot of waste. So that waste comes from the vegetables, from maybe cutting grass, trimming the flowers in the compound. So all that waste, if it is improperly managed, that is that will lead to a negative impact to the environment. Even maybe poor drainage, you find that water or the sewage from the hotel, it is drained into the nearby community well or the community pond, and it causes it causes air pollution or even water pollution. So that's the when a hotel carries out poor waste management, it will impact the environment. So that is morally wrong. Then we have underpaying staff. By underpaying staff, we mean you find that a hotel, a restaurant, a bar, and other establishments, they overwork their employees. Like employees work 12 hours, 10 hours, but the payment is too little to sustain them. Take an example, you may find a restaurant making a waiter work from 7 to 7 in the evening, 7 a.m. to 7 in the evening. That is overworking an employee. And yet you may find that you are paying that waiter 150. So you find out that the input is more than the output or the reward. So that is underpaying the staff. It is unethical. In the moral sense, it is wrong. So underpaying staff is another unethical but legal practice. Then we have exploiting tipped workers. Exploiting tipped workers. This is whereby you find that a hotel establishment may refuse or may put restrictions on tipping workers. Like you may find a waiter, you try to tip him or her, he or she tells you that no, I'm not accepted to allow the tip from any customer. Or when he or she gets it, his amount of money, like the salary, is being cut or like it is being taken away from him, or it is removed from him, or he or she may be suspended. That is exploiting tipped workers. Then we have overworking staff. This is whereby you make the staff work for long hours or even work without having breaks. That is overworking staff. It is wrong morally. We have unfair contract terms. These are terms of employment, terms of performance. You find that a waiter is told to report maybe at 6 a.m. Yes, waiters can report at 6 a.m. However, to prepare the area. But when he or she finds out that maybe it's on a rainy day, or maybe he or she's from an insecure place and arrives by maybe 6:30, he may be punished for late coming. So unfair contract terms, they may even be in working the working world, like whereby you see that the the workers, an example is a chef, may be told that even if you are sick, even if you are having a sick person, even if you have someone who is deceased, who has died in your family, you must report for work. So that is unfair because that person is denied time to go and check on his patient or maybe bury a loved one because of the contract. Another one, we have lack of accessibility. Lack of accessibility. This is whereby you find out that some hospitality establishments may limit access to some people. If you are lame, you're not accepted to come to this hospitality establishment. This may not be communicated, but then it may be non-verbal in that they may only put staircases, that is limiting people in wheelchairs. They may even not allocate space for people who are disabled. So that is making the hospitality establishment inaccessible by the different people, maybe people with disabilities. Then we have also lacking accessibility in a way that they may say, if you don't have this and this amount, you are not accepted to this what? To this hospitality establishment. That is limiting access to some people. Then we have food waste. Here we find that in the hospitality establishments, usually restaurants and hotels, they usually waste food in a way that when food remains, it is disposed of because they tend to be selling fresh foods. So any food that is remaining in stock, at times it is thrown away depending on the policies of the business. So that is unethical. It is wrong morally. Then we have poor ethical sourcing. Ethical sourcing is attaining raw materials from good or reputable sources. That is to say, if you are selling sausages, you get them from a well-known sausage factory. Let's say you are dealing in selling meat, roasted meat, you go to Rancher's Finest at Lugogo Mall and then you do what? You buy their products. That is ethical sourcing. Now, poor ethical sourcing is getting those sausages from someone who manufactures them from a dirty place, from maybe different types of animals, and so on. So that is poor ethical sourcing. Some hotels may want more of profitability than providing services, so they may go for cheaper sources of raw materials. By raw materials, I mean the input, the vegetables, the meat products, and so on. So they may go for cheap food supplies, yet they are at times, almost times, wrongly produced. Then lastly, we have data privacy concerns. What are data privacy concerns? These are these are problems regarding giving out the information of customers. That is to say, a customer comes, maybe it is a husband, a cheating husband, and then he or she enters the hotel with a mistress, and then the wife comes to the reception to ask for the information about the people in the rooms. So it is your duty as a front office manager to keep that information private, not to let it out to any person. So those are the unethical but legal practices. Before I continue, I would like to inform you about Trinkets by the Zeph. That is a project I do work in to produce trinket trays, trinket flower vessels. These are 100% decorative items whereby you can place your necklaces, your jewelry, your car keys on the trinket trays. So we have serviette holders for restaurants, we have flower vessels for homes and restaurant decorations. In case you wish to order for one, you can get custom made, branded, and also any color you want. You may contact me on 07089 21 to place an order and explain in case you want it custom made. We move to another subtopic, which is data privacy, data protection, and guest privacy. And here we shall define these two. What is guest privacy? Guest privacy is safeguarding individuals' personal information, preferences, and behaviors while they are on the hospitality establishment premises. Take an example. When a customer comes and he provides to you the personal information, that is to say the birthday, the age, the marital status, or even he gives you the telephone number, and then another person comes to ask for that number of the individual who has maybe occupied the room number maybe 20. You are not supposed to give out that number to him, nor any information about his preferences, like the best dish, what does he usually come and eat, even the behaviors. When it comes to the bar, does he dance on the table, does he dance with other women, and so on. So you must keep that guest's information private, you as an employee in the hospitality establishment. Then data protection is safeguarding guest data from unauthorized access through implementation of policies, practices, and technologies. So this is protecting the guest data using policies and practices, while guest privacy is safeguarding the personal information as they interact with the hospitality establishment. Now, in data protection, you will see that here is where they do secure the person's data with maybe a password. They store that work in the database and so on. Then we have types of guest data. When you talk about guest data, some of you ask yourself, what is guest data? So we have three types of guest data. Number one is the personal information. The personal information, that is the name, the number, the address, the email address, the age in case they ask, and so on. Then we have the payment data. Payment data, does he use cash? Does he use card? Does he use checks? So when any third party comes to you asking about how a customer pays, you must keep it private and secretive. Then preferences and booking history. Preferences, we look at what does that person like most. Then booking history, which room did he sleep in? Then when you are talking about preferences, you may say what food does he like most, what alcohol brand does he drink usually when he comes to the hospitality establishment. When we talk about preferences still, we may say which type of meal does he enjoy most, the desserts, and so on. Then for booking history, we look at the rooms. Which room did he sleep in? For how long did he sleep there? So you must not disclose any of these three types of data a guest provides to the hospitality establishment. Then we have risks of data breach. Or what are the repercussions of data breach? Number one, we have financial consequences. In financial consequences, you may find out that when you give out someone's information, that person can make you pay a fine. So it may make you pay a fine, or you may go to courts of law and you are made to pay a fine for giving out that person's information. That is one risk. Another risk we have reputation damage. When you give out someone's information, he or she may publicize that on internet, just like nowadays TikTok can make any rumor spread within minutes or within seconds. So you may give out someone's information and he or she gets to know, and it spoils your reputation online. Social media has done more good than bad, but yet it has also done more bad than good. So that's how your reputation can get drilled with social media after you giving out someone's information, so you will lose your brand image. Then we have legal consequences. Legal consequences come in when someone sues you for giving out their personal information. And lastly, we have fraud. So someone may come ask for the guest's information, then he uses it to maybe blackmail that person or to ask him for ransom in order not to give out his information to his beloved person. If it's a man, someone may use it to ask for money from him so as he cannot expose him to the wife. So that is a risk of data breach. When you give out someone's data or when they steal someone's data, you must make sure that you are ready for such risks if you are a hospitality establishment. Then we have importance of guest privacy. When a hospitality establishment keeps the guest data privately, what are the importances? Number one, it builds trust with customers. So someone can trust you that you can keep their information without sharing it to third parties. Positive guest experience. Someone will be bold and confident enough to come and interact with your hospitality establishment, and you will have no fear of exposure or even of fraud. Then we have strong recommendations. Someone like people will recommend your hospitality establishment to friends, relatives, and to any other person who may ask about. Maybe you may find someone and he tells you I want to go and maybe have a stay to a hotel. So the person will tell you, you know what, this hotel is good because it keeps the data private. It also has good services. So that is a recommendation. It leads to strong recommendations. Then repeated visits. When you know that this place doesn't give out personal data, doesn't share your personal information to third parties, you will continuously visit it. Take an example. Um, there is a place in, I don't know which side is that. Is it Busega? New Best. It's a New Best hotel. So that hotel, it keeps guests' data privately. So they cannot disclose any information about people who visit there, nor can they disclose any information about what takes place in there. So it will attract all these importances I've talked about. It builds trust with customers. Customers trust it for its secrecy. Positive guest experience. Someone goes there without fearing anything to happen. Strong recommendations. You see videos on TikTok, someone talking about it, is recommending others to go and check out what's there. Repeated visits. That same individual recommending will also still go there. And lastly, safety from legal consequences. So you won't be in fear of any legal consequence, any sue from any person because you have given out their information. So you will be safe from such consequences. Then we have strategies for data protection. We said data protection is safeguarding guest data using policies and practices as well as technologies. So, data protection strategies include employee training. This is why you train the employees to handle guest data, to input it into the system, to store it, and also you have to teach them how to manipulate third parties from getting that information. So that you reach a front office manager, he or she must be in position to tell the third party, that is the person who wants to know the other person's information, you must look for tricks of diverting that person's uh, that person is want to know the information about the customer. Then we have secure IT systems, like installing secure IT systems. This is where you put in database. This is where you put in security, biometric passwords, like you put in biometrics, passwords, and so on, like to secure that information from being given out. In that when a person finishes to put in the data, it is only one person who can access it. Then we have regular audits. This is making audits about the data, the information of the what of the hospitality establishment. Then we have also physical security. This is coming up with security guards to safeguard the areas of where they protect the information from. Then we have dealing with the trusted vendors. Trusted vendors. Now here you have to deal with suppliers whom you trust that won't give out your information. You know, still your competitors may come and ask your suppliers, how much do those people buy this? How much do those people sell this? So you must deal with the trusted vendors. Then lastly, adoption of security cautious policies. Now here you set up alarms, you set up any security breach alert system that can help you to know to know any problem in case someone wants to breach your system. Then also you must put up policies to those employees that if you give out this data about customers, you are there and then suspended or terminated from work. So those are the secure cautious policies. So they caution those people who are in position to access the information. These policies caution them from giving out that information to any person. So with those few remarks, I would like to end here. That is all about the unethical but legal practices. Then we also looked at the guest privacy and data protection, their importance, the effects, and strategies. Thank you for sticking up to the end. Have a good day. However, don't forget to subscribe if you are new so as to get updates on new educational videos yet to come. Thank you so much. Have a good day.